The leadership shift, how to build a business that runs without you. Everything I've learned about business came from a BNI member, a conversation at a chapter meeting, or a book someone in my network recommended. I often say BNI has been my BNI MBA. That's the power of community-driven growth. And today, we're going to talk about a leadership shift that every growing business owner has to make if they want a business that runs smoothly without them doing everything. Most businesses don't fail because of lack of effort. They fail because the leader never makes the shift. In the beginning, business feels like survival. You just need to get it going. It's like dropping a rock into water. The ripple effect starts with customers, customers lead to referrals, referrals lead to growth. But at some point, the business outgrows the leader's ability to personally hold everything together. And that's where many business owners get stuck. If you're watching this, you're probably driven, capable, and deeply interested in your business. You may even feel indispensable. But here's the tension. If the business requires you in every decision, every delivery, and every fix, it's fragile. The goal isn't to be needed everywhere. The goal is to build something that works because of you, not dependent on you. And that requires a leadership shift. Before I jump into entrepreneurship, I read a book that fundamentally changed how I think about business and leadership. It's called Cashflow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. The book explains that how you earn money matters more than how much you earn. It outlines 4 quadrants, each with a different mindset, risk profile, and relationship to time and money. Understanding these quadrants help explain why so many business owners feel stuck. Let's walk through them. First is employee. You trade time for money. You value security and benefits. Your income is capped by your role and hours. If you stop working, the money stops. That's where I started, as an engineer. Next is self-employed. You own a job. You're highly skilled and work incredibly hard. You have control, but very little leverage. If you don't show up, the money stops. Many professionals and small business owners live here. Business owner, the 3rd quadrant, is where the leadership shift happens. You own a system that works without you. You focus on people, processes, and scalability. Income is leveraged through others, not just your own effort. You design the machine instead of being the machine. And the 4th quadrant, investor. Money works for you. You focus on assets, not income. Wealth comes from ownership, not effort. Today, I want to focus on the most difficult and most important shift, moving from self-employed to business owner. This is where leadership is required. This is where many businesses also stall. The shift from employee to self-employed requires moving from security to competence. You stop being paid for showing up and you start being paid for expertise and outcomes. You trade safety for autonomy. To make this shift, you need a monetized skill, personal credibility, basic sales confidence, and time discipline. Jason Sanders, who will be on our podcast this month, likely made this shift when he left working for someone else and started his own HVAC company. At this stage, you are the product. The next shift is much harder. You move from control to leverage. This is where most leaders struggle. You stop being the product and you start designing how the work gets done. Success now depends on leadership, not effort. To make this shift, you must build documented processes, delegation muscle, hiring and training systems, and a repeatable value proposition. Common obstacles show up here. No one can do it like me. Perfectionism disguised as high standards. Revenue that grows, but only with exhaustion. The truth is, most businesses stall because the owner's identity is still tied to being needed. Owner-led delivery is not scalable. There are 4 critical leadership shifts you must make. First, let go of I do it best and move to others can do it well. Second, train people deeply. If you don't train them well, they may stay, and that's worse. Most people are worried about training their people to be too good because they might leave. But if they stay and they're not good, that can crumble your business. Your job is to make your people excellent. Third, train for consistency. Every client should receive the same experience, regardless of who delivers it. And fourth, delegating customer-facing trust. This is hard. You're handing your reputation to someone else. But leadership means ensuring your team has what they need to succeed. To scale, you need a trustworthy team, predictable systems, clear expectations, and systems that protect your reputation. When consistency improves, referrals increase. When referrals increase, growth becomes sustainable. I lived this shift myself. I started as an engineer at Chevron. Freedom was one of my highest values, so I moved into self-employment as a business coach focused on marketing. That's how I joined BNI. When I became the executive director, I was so excited because BNI is a system. Clear delivery, clear leadership structure, and clear process. Then life tested it. My son was born 2 months premature. I disappeared overnight, and the business kept running. That's when I knew the system worked. I had to remove my ego and realize the goal wasn't being essential, it was being effective. Eventually, I found real joy in watching team members do things better than I ever could. That's leadership. So here's the question I leave you with. What leadership shift do you need to make next? If you want a business that runs smoothly without you doing everything, you must build people, build systems, and let go of control. Lead with clarity. Your job isn't to be the hero. Your job is to build an environment where others can win. And that's the leadership shift. Jason Sanders is going to join us on the podcast this month, and he's going to walk us through his leadership shift. If you're like me and are always looking for ways to improve leadership and how you run your business, this channel is for you. Please like and subscribe.